Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
God's blessings be upon you.
And government's distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege to deliver the national statement of my country, Somalia, at this council, at this crucial COP-27 in Egypt. I thank Egypt and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as well as all other international partners for bringing us together in this, to discuss what can only be described as the greatest challenge facing our world today. All the available scientific evidence across the world clearly shows that temperatures and sea levels are rising and droughts and floods are increasing. Food security is weak and climate-induced conflict over resources like water and livestock pasture are common, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, which is dealing with one of the worst droughts in the modern history. The presence of so many leaders in this meeting today gives me a confidence that not only is the issue of climate change being taken seriously internationally, but that during COP27, genuine plans and strategies will be negotiated, agreed, and implemented quickly to ensure we mitigate and adapt to its costly destructive effects across the world. In 2022, over 800 million people, majority of them from Africa, are food insecure. In Somalia, over 7 million people cannot meet their basic food needs and require urgent humanitarian assistance. We need to ask ourselves, why are we here after 26 years? The answer is one, and it is climate change and conflict. What's evident is that there is no equity or fairness in global climate burden sharing, because the nations who produce the least green gases emissions, like Somalia, pay the highest price twice. First, their citizens do not benefit from the developing nations' industrialization, and their own nations usually have minimum industrial output or capacity. And secondly, they seldom have the fiscal space or technology and expertise to respond to the effects of the climate change, which directly hampers their development aspirations and citizens' health and well-being. In Somalia, we are most vulnerable to climate change. Climate change is a political, security, economic challenge for us, and we are taking it very seriously. In this regard, we have dedicated a new ministry and launched a new Somalia Green Initiative to address the matter head-on. Today, Somalia is facing a humanitarian crisis which we are desperately trying to respond to. Because of current drought, we have also had severe floods which have destroyed key infrastructure, prime agricultural land, as well as the livelihoods of entire communities. Today's global food and energy insecurity is disproportionately affecting Somalia because of the impact of the climate change and our people's inability to grow their own crops, because of the ongoing drought as a direct consequence. Urbanization and all its environmental impact are also on the rise. This is not sustainable and acceptable. Climate mitigation and adaptation strategies and plans need to be rapidly implemented in Somalia to safeguard the lives and the livelihood of our most vulnerable citizens. However, this requires real resources, including accessible grant-based financing and investment in climate resilience, in key areas including water management, infrastructure, and renewable energy. This is vital because many of the developing nations and least developed nations like Somalia are still struggling with the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and national debt sustainability issues, and they must not be left behind. Furthermore, existing national, regional, and international climate early warning systems are not only useful where we can finance early effective action to mitigate and adapt quickly. In Somalia, we have one of the longest coasts in the world, vast arable land, and we are striving to build an economically stable future which both benefits from our strategic location and enormous natural resources potential, including the blue economy. However, we must take urgent action today to work with all our international partners to ensure we make the climate adaptation and mitigation investments that will make this reality tomorrow. In this age of global interconnectivity and interdependency, we must not think in silos or developed versus developing nations, because the looming existential climate disaster does not care for these distinctions. Climate change is complex, and it's not going to magically disappear. In this regard, we must respond to this single greatest challenge to the humanity today, together, and on the firm basis of solidarity, multilateralism. International cooperation is the only way out. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.